women are becoming more active in various fields of modern society, and women's military activities are particularly impressive in societies that are considered the most masculine. The expansion of women's military activities is a global phenomenon, and it is expected to continue for a considerable period of time as women's advancement in society and the limitations of men's resources are intertwined. Ancient armies were mostly made up of men. The main reason was usually the difference in innate physical abilities between men and women. Many hold the view that this is because the number of women is considered more important than the number of men in tribes or nations. For example, even if half of the men were killed in a big war, there was no problem replenishing the population as long as the women were safe. A lack of men in a polygamy or concubine system was taken for granted in ancient Egyptian times, and a level that in some cultures there is the custom of the deceased's older and younger brother marrying the widow. Intact marriage is a way to prevent human and material loss of blood relatives that may occur due to a woman's remarriage, and at the same time, blood relatives protect widows and their families who may struggle to survive. There are cases in which a brother-in-law takes a wife in order to carry on the generations, and there is a practice of having sex with a brother-in-law without marriages and becoming pregnant so that the brother can inherit the next generations. A similar version in the Suge marriage custom, in which the son takes the father's concubines after the father's death, except for his birth mother. On the other hand, if half of the women die, the productivity of the kingdom or country will be cut in half, as will the labor and military power. So in ancient times, conquering other countries led women to be trophies. For that reason, most civilizations tried to protect women as much as possible, unless the circumstances were so extreme that even women had to jump into the front lines of battle. Even when a war was won, women preferred to be taken prisoner rather than killed. However, until modernity, men have monopolized power such as armed forces and vested interests throughout human history, thus excluding women from those vested interests. In a society dominated by patriarchy, it was impossible to put a woman in an armed group that had become the ladder of succession and success in power. Looking at myths and legends in the Amazon where female warriors appear, women in what is called a matrilineal society were capable of leading and holding high-ranking positions of power. In ancient religions where rank was more important than gender, goddesses of war like Valkyrie, Athena, and Kali tend to appear. Of course, it would not have been possible to suppress all of these individuals' extraordinary talents no matter how much they were blocked. And depending on the times and society, there was a shortage of men due to wars and epidemic, etc., and women were active as warriors. Judging from the relics of Scythian region, there were actually countries where women were active as warriors. The legendary Amazon women of ancient Greece and Rome are also exaggerated in popular discourse, but the truth is not far off. It is also said that Indian monarchs formed their own personal gods made up of women. In addition, there was a woman priest in Western Europe during the Middle Ages. There were also knights who were women, such as the Order of the Glorious Saint Mary. Furthermore, there were knights who were majority women, such as the Ordre de la Hache, that is Order of the Hatch, and other general knights also had positions assigned to women. The ancient Chinese legend of Chu and Han also features female troops. Han Wu besieged and imprisoned Liu Bang in the city of Xinyang, at which time Gixin organized a female army, which was rare in ancient Chinese history. Qixin led this army of 2,000 women wearing Liu Bang's armor and deceived Han Wu that he was Liu Bang, and it took advantage of his surrender and made the real Liu Bang run away. In the end, Qixin, the commander who led the soldiers, was burnt at the stake by Han Wu. There were also female soldiers among the troops guarding Muhammad, the founder of Islam. According to records, it was his aunt Safiya who rescued Muhammad rode a horse and shot and killed anti-Muhammad soldiers with her own bow, and even had an army of women. The commander of this unit, Nasiba bint Ka'b, was a legendary heroine. Asma bint Yazid, the hero of this unit, fought head-on against 9 anti-Muhammad forces and defeated them, and Muhammad also praised her. Despite this, much later, when the UAE army accepted female troops, the Islamic conservatives were fiercely opposed to it. However, the proponents said that they defeated the conservatives by arguing that there had been Sheikha Fatima who made a great contribution to the creation of a women's army, and that there were women who helped Muhammad in the Quran and in history.